So I found this post on the Poke Investing subreddit that I wanted to share with you all because I feel like this is one of the problems that some Pokemon investors may face later down the road when they try to sell their sealed cases. And I thought this would be an interesting post to share because some of you may actually have some cases where there's a problem like this one. So I wanted to give my thoughts about this post and read some of the comments. So as you can see here, the title of this post is Journey Together Booster Box Enhanced Case for $1,000, which is a pretty good deal in my opinion and pretty good pickup. Picked up a case of Journey Together Enhanced Booster Box case today for $1,000. The seller bought it directly from Pokemon Center and seemed to take a $40 loss from it. Do you guys see this being a good long-term hold? So besides, what I really want to talk about in this video, which may be obvious here, I guess I'm going to talk about this. So this person was able to buy the case of Journey Together Enhanced Booster Boxes for $1,000. So if we do some quick math, $1,000 divided by 6, that's $166 per box, and that's basically MSRP, and then with tax on it, and like this person said, they seemingly took a $40 loss. So do I think this is a good investment? 100%. If you were basically able to buy this at MSRP, I think that's a pretty good buy. And as of right now, enhanced booster boxes are going for around $200 to $210. So I think this was a very good pickup. Will this get reprinted in the future? Sure. But MSRP or paying around there, I don't think is a bad price whatsoever. And obviously, if they don't reprint the enhanced feature, then this was even a better buy. So I don't think this was a bad investment whatsoever. And if I was honestly able to buy any near MSRP, I probably would pick some up. So this person did pretty well here, being able to find this case and buying it. But talking about the case here, this is where the problem lies, where I feel like a lot of people down the road that have cases like this may face some issues. So obviously, a lot of people, with sealed cases, they like the sealed case thing. And you know what? It's cool, right? I get it. But there's a, very obvious problem with this case. And as you can see here, I'll, zoom in if you can't tell, this case has basically no label. I mean, you can't read it. I mean, if you zoom in here, you can't even see it. Like, it's not even legible from this picture. Now, obviously, they bought this assuming it's a Journey Together enhanced case. And honestly, somebody selling a modern product probably wouldn't scam. There's been resealing that has been done in the past. We've seen the infamous, whole Logan Paul thing. So for the most part, modern cases, you're probably not going to get scammed. If somebody is selling a case like this, saying they bought from Pokemon Center and it's Journey Together, I probably wouldn't think they're lying. Now, obviously, you don't want to assume everything in the space because there are bad people that will scam you. But for the most part, people in the space are not that bad, but you can't trust everybody. And when you're spending $1,000, you want to be 100% sure that you're actually buying what they're saying that they're selling. And in this case, you can see it's not really legible, but according to the comments, which I'll read here, apparently you can see a little bit of it, but I feel like this will be a major problem down the road trying to sell somebody that, hey, this is a Dream Together enhanced booster box case. Would you like to buy it? And then the person's going to look at this label and say, well, where's the label at? And it's completely white. And, this person, apparently, you'll see in the comments, says that it's legible if you go really close to it. But think about this, guys. Let's say this person decides to sell this, like, 5 years down the road, right? And let's say this is in, some sunlight and stuff. Guys, if you can barely even see it in this photo, and apparently this person's saying that if you go really close, you can see it, I think in 4 to 5 years, depending on how this is stored, if it's in some light, all these sorts of things, wherever it's being stored, the thing might not be legible in 4 to 5 years, right? Like, whatever is legible now, like barely, you can't even see it on this picture. If you can get really close to it and you can barely read it out now, I think later down the road, wherever this gets tossed around or it gets dirty and things rub off of it, like, I feel like it might not even be legible, right? And I feel like this is one of the problems that some people may face because Pokemon Center does like to put shipping labels over the actual case labels. I think a big reason they do this is to hide what is actually inside of the case. And some people try to rip it off, and some people do get lucky and it's really easy to take off and the label's still there. But sometimes the labels are really hard to take off, and sometimes they end up like this where you can't even read it. Now this is one of the worst, like, I guess, labels I've ever seen, because I've taken off labels myself from Pokemon Center, like off of a case, and you can still see it, but this literally you cannot see anything. So I'm very surprised that this person, I guess, bought this case. And it just, even from this picture, even though they say in the the comments they can read it, like, if it's this faded, I don't know how many people out there are really gonna buy this as a case, seeing that there's like no label on it, right? And this is one of the problems with selling a case, and it even is more of a problem when it doesn't really have a super legible label, like what is actually in here, right? And you got to think about later down the road when this is, probably maybe thousands of dollars for the case and not $1,000. People that are going to be buying this may not want a case where you cannot even read really anything from it. So let's just read some of the comments, and we'll be done with this video. 3 to 5 years, this is a great entry point. Might not appreciate as quickly as top tier sets. And this person is saying, yeah, they're thinking about just sitting on it. And this person says they'd recommend putting it in your closet. Sitting on it could reduce the value. Obviously, a meme. But yeah, I agree with this person. I mean, down the road, yeah, it's going to be fine buying at 166 a booster box. I think that's a pretty good buy. It's crazy to me that cases sell for so much, since I feel like it would be way easier to fake a case than many other products. This is one of the arguments to be made, that buying cases is risky, which I believe can be true. Right? Like a plain cardboard box with a packing label and some tape is super easy to fake. I'd buy 6 booster boxes before ever buying a case. This is one of the arguments people make with cases, how, I mean, it's so easy to fake. If people can fake a sealed booster box individually, like, why would someone not fake a case? I mean, a case would be way easier to fake, and that's true. So there's an argument to be made, especially with the label being ripped off. I mean, it's even more sketchy. I thought there was a limit on Pokemon Center. How did they buy 6 to get a case, or did different regions get no limit? You were always able to buy a case of booster boxes up until recent times. Okay. Looks real, but you might want to uncover the label. And the post or this response is like, for some reason, just not here. I think you did good. Same. How do you know what's inside? Not a fan of buying anything I can't see from other humans. It's not clear from the picture, but in real life you can see the faded label. I asked him to print out the order confirmations and delivery info. I matched up the item number from the invoice to the label on the box, which is really faded, so you really have to look, and it matched up to the Journey Enhanced booster box item numbers. Could still be fake inside the box. When you buy cases from other humans, you have to crack the case, in my opinion. It's like $200 more on eBay. I think you sure you're getting a legit box. Taking $1,000 cash is essentially the same thing as selling for $1,200 on eBay. And this person, the original poster, says, I'm 90% sure it's legit. That doesn't sound too promising. Like, I don't honestly think this person got scammed. I think it probably is what it is, and they even said they looked really close and it matched up. I don't think this person got scammed. But the issue is down the road when you try to sell this as a case. That's when you might face some issues, because you barely can see the label now. Think about years from now when this label probably gets faded. You're probably not going to be able to see anything. The label's faded, but you can see the order details, like item number, which matches up to what he showed me on the receipt from Pokemon Center. His name all matches up to the receipt also. I'd open it. No reason to take a loss in this current market. That's a little suspect. I think he's just a college kid needing to liquidate quick for some cash. And he literally says that pretty much the exact same thing, and somebody downvoted him. I really don't think this person got scammed, but, it's still, the case and stuff, the label is kind of sketchy. I guess this person is not really talking about the label. The label being covered kind of ruins it. I agree. I was a bit disappointed when I saw it was really faded. Yeah, a big part of the case is literally the label, right? I mean, that's literally what it says, what's inside the case. Other than that, every single other case is the exact same. That's cheap. Could all be fake in my opinion, but what do I know? What happened to the label? It's unreadable. Yeah, obviously, I mean, the shipping label is over and he just tore it off. You keep replying that you can see the label is just faded, but my dude, this was released like 3 months ago. That should not be faded. If it is faded, I'd be worried if it was in direct sunlight every hour of the day up until the point you bought it. Either way, I would record myself cracking the seal just to verify. So that's pretty much it for this post. Just wanted to read some of those comments. A lot of people seem to be concerned for this person. Now, the argument that the case, you can fake and stuff, that's true, but not really what I want to talk about in this video. It's mainly the label that literally says what's in the case. You can barely even see it now. In the future, if you try to sell this as a case, you might have some problems. And honestly, if people are collecting cases, which is why there's like a premium for some cases, right? If you can't read the label legibly very easily, I don't know how many people are going to want to buy a case where you can't even really see anything. So if you have a case that has a very faded label, I'm not telling you to open it up, but at the same time, if you are trying to sell it as a case and you can barely read it, I mean, what is the point of the case then, right? So that's what I want to show you guys here. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know down in the comments below. If you were put in this position, if you met up with somebody, they were selling this case, and you saw that the label was super faded, but if you could see it a little bit, that, it was like somewhat legible, you could maybe, just read barely that it was what it was, would you still open it? Because in my opinion, I mean, if a case label is this faded, I'm just going to open it up, because honestly, I think down the road, the case premium might not really hold up for this because you can't see what's on the label. So that's just all I want to say today in this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. You can comment down below your opinions on this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.